Yeah, and while on you, Tajinder, I have two questions that are very relevant, I think, in your case, given the sheer size of your organization. One being, I would assume with 15,000 people under you know, all across the country, one issue is probably the fact that not everybody has email IDs. So one of the questions from the audience is, yes, there are all these tools and we can try to be as digital as possible, but for some parts of the organization, it's very challenging because they might not have the right tools. So how has, you know, perhaps KBZ, what is your view on that? Yeah,
I
so that's the first.
I would pass a secret out. So Myanmar, every employee will not have the email address, but the smartphone penetration in Myanmar is 130%. So there were times when an important message was to be sent out, and at 6 o'clock I decided that this is a serious communication and it has to reach out to all employees. By 7:30, I had reached out to 15,000 employees. That is the speed of communication which is possible today. And then this is a real life example. This is not being concocted. That's point number one. Then there are platforms where communication is very unique. You can bring people to a platform and you ensure that communication is on the platform. So we have certain platforms where people can just log in, sign in, and then see what is the latest employee communication or employee advisory on COVID. In fact, we decided that we would run one training program on that platform, and we had more than 1,500 employees logging in at the same time, and the infrastructure, telecom infrastructure, supported that. So there are a number of ways of doing it. Yeah.
Okay. And one last question here, I would say probably, again, more relevant on companies that have staff on field. There's one question from the audience saying, how can you encourage, motivate your workforce, particularly staff field operations who are out there? What's your advice? Who of the speakers have a large dispersed workforce? Probably
I can take a start, and then fellow colleagues can pitch in. I think it is about communication. It is about and also doing a lot of work to ensure that they are safe. So I remember one particular night we had to disinfect around 25 offices, and we are talking about thorough disinfection, and the team literally worked overtime to ensure that the offices are disinfected properly. There are temperature scanners at place at the entrance, so that anyone who is going in, the temperature monitoring is happening. And then we had to ensure employees who are coming in, those of the employees who had to come in, they were wearing masks, they had gloves, they were in appropriate safety gear. So I think it's two ways. Organization have to do their bit and do it honestly, genuinely, thinking that employee welfare and employee safety is most important. Second, employee has to understand what has been done, what can put him in trouble or her in trouble, and put everybody else in trouble. So I think it's this kind of two-way streak. Yeah, that's my take.
Okay, fantastic.
I want to add something, Matt, in here. Even before we start, I was actually talking with Shivan on that the fact that their leadership team actually goes out on the field, and that's a very good demonstration of authenticity, etc. And the other thing we could do, and I have been seeing some banks do, is giving them the sense of purpose. So the reason why they are actually out on the field, that just like Tajendra has also mentioned, that we are actually helping them see that when them actually working, they're actually helping a lot of people secure and stay from home, work from home, because financially they if they enable the fintech sector, we can actually do the transactions safely. So giving that sense of purpose actually give people a lot of courage and motivation. Even when they are out in the field, they are there for good. They beyond
Great.
their own. Yeah.